Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of NasCard Radio. This is episode 139 of NasCard Radio. Man, we're trading cards and racing meet. I'm your pal Val. With me is the man, the myth, legend, PSA and White Castle Hall of Famer Logan. Logan, how are you today?
I'm feeling like I should be on the blue ribbon panel.
You should be. I think you should be.
I think I should be.
Y- Yep.
We're going to talk about that again this week. I think that's going to be a subject of next few weeks.
Yeah, I think so here for at least another week or two or so. But I want to thank our sponsor, Panini America. We got a great show today. I'm going to do a race recap of the races that and the winners, rookie, highest finishing rookies, and their trading cards. We're going to talk about NASCAR's been selecting the NASCAR 75 greatest drivers. So we touched on it last week. So we have a few more added to the list that we got right and we got wrong. And then also cheating. Does it help or hurt card value? So, and then of course, we'll finish the show with King's Court.
Plus a little news here and there too.
Just a little sprinkle.
Yeah, a little sprinkle of a couple of links of things we've seen and just other stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about that. Yes, some good stuff here, interesting stuff as well. So, also shout out to Kyle Katz, T.J. Graves, Skid Marks, and Michael Haggard for the YouTube comments. We read them, so please leave them. Also to Ken Beanball Card Blog for the comments on Podbean. So,
Yep,
but
Ken the Texas Tornado.
Texas Tornado. Yep. All right. Anything else we need to talk about before we go into race recap?
Yep, hit it.
All right. Let me see. Working on it here. That was the Craftsman Truck Series race. That was number 7. That was the Long John Silver's 200. That was Friday, April 14th at Martinsville Speedway. Corey Heim was our winner. Highest finishing rookie was Taylor Gray at position 8. I'm trying to remember that race. I don't think it was very eventful.
It really wasn't. I mean, I this
That
was a weird
was
week.
it short? Was it shortened from rain or something? I'm trying to remember why it was shortened
Yes, it was.
because
Yeah, they
all I
had some
remember
weird
is Kyle
weather.
Busch complaining about if they could have went farther.
Yeah, because earlier that day, they had qualifying for different series and whatnot, and I was watching all that, and it's like, wow, the weather looks great. I mean, it was like sunny and everything, and then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, they just got a lot of rain, and they had lightning. And I think they had a delayed start. It was really crazy.
It was kind of frightening.
Yeah, everybody, every, let's see. Hold on, I know what song you're talking about.
It's all right. I don't want to do that to
No, it's not.
everybody. So all right, but Corey Heim, we've talked about him before, and rookies 2022 Donruss. He's in the rated rookies there in Dunruss, and then all the parallels. There's printing plates. There's also Dunruss signature series autographs there. He's also in 2022 Panini Chronicles and a few different of those sets inside of Panini Chronicles with clearly Dunruss magnitude. Did you take that off?
I did because I didn't
Okay,
see it on my screen.
okay.
That's weird.
It's
Okay.
it's Obsidian signatures, Pinnacle autographs select, and then Spectra. And I guess why don't I have Donruss on this list? I mean, not Donruss, Prism, and then also in Prism with different parallels.
Yeah, I'm pretty high on Corey Heim. I think he's going to do well. He's just really getting started. There,
Oh
there.
yeah,
Yeah, it just showed up on my screen just now. That I got some weird
time
stuff
delay.
going on with my pewter.
Your computer is running a few minutes behind tape delay.
Yeah. Yeah, I must have
Anyway,
said a bad word and it's trying to beat me out, bleep me
yeah.
out.
So Corey Heim, I totally like his long term future here. He's racing for Cobblish Motorsports, so we know how he they prepare trucks. So he's got a good ride, got some talent. He's won before. Um, he was I think was he rookie of the year last year? I'd have to look on my cheat sheet here. Yes, he was rookie of the year last year. So
Hmm.
he's continuing what he started.
Yep. I'm expecting good things out of him.
Yep. And then let's pull him down. And then Taylor Gray, he doesn't have any cards yet, but we can
Mm.
keep our fingers crossed for 2023.
Yep. We'll find out soon.
Yep. Next race, race number 8. It's the Heart of America 200 at Kansas Speedway. And that's going to be Saturday, May 6th at 8 p.m. So gotta wait till May for the truck race. So they get a few weeks off here. They're like F1, take a few weeks off.
Yeah, they are, man. It's like what, May 6th? Wow.
Yep.
Jeez.
No excuse not to have a good truck, right, in Kansas.
No, Haley ought to have her truck in good shape by then. She finished 20th in this race.
Yeah.
SMH. Shaking my head.
Next,
Mm-mm-mm.
Xfinity that was race number 8, and that was the call811.com before you dig 250. That was Saturday, April 15th. They also at Martinsville Speedway. John Hunter Nemechek was our winner. Highest finish rookie was Sammy Smith at position 2. I think that was kind of I don't say a boring race. I think the burnout after the race was the best part of that race.
Good Lord, man. He literally burned that car to the ground. He won that $100,000 dash for cash. They're going to
Right.
need that to replace that car.
Well, it's funny because they said when they burned that up, and the rubber was burning, and he was going. It looked like the tire marks from Back to the Future
Oh, yeah.
when,
Yeah.
when they were on fire.
Yeah,
So I
that
thought,
thing, when that thing hit 88 miles an hour, you saw some serious stuff going on.
oh man, that was funny. Yeah. So, but that was probably the most memorable part of that. So, but John Hunter Nemechek, easy for me to say. We've talked about him before because he was in the cup level. He went down to the truck level, and now he's in Xfinity. Kind of proving that um, it doesn't hurt to move around, find a good ride, and talent will persist. So not the path like Josh Berry had to do, but John Hunter, he's having success in these levels here. So we've talked about him before for the last couple of years, and his first cards are in 2016. He's in the Panini Torque. He has a base card there. That's the one on the left side there with the different parallels, and also with combo materials. That's one down there on the left corner. Signature and materials. So for a combos material signature card. There's only two versions of that. There's a red and a green. And it's 49, number to 49 or 25. So not a lot of those.
Yeah, my gosh, was he like in the 10th grade when they took these pictures? Good Lord.
Well, yeah. Oh man, I should have gotten that slide ready. I'll have to get it ready for next time. Where I think it was in the I don't know what press pass, but he's walking with his dad. So his dad was Joe Nemechek, and so he had that like army fire suit, and then Hunter Nemechek has that same fire suit, but naturally like the 5-year-old version of that fire suit. It's so cute.
Yeah, you need to get that for next time.
Yep. Um, I sent some of those to the shop to get them signed. I can't tell if he signed them or if Joe signed them, but anyway, I digress. So, Panini Prism in the middle, no base cards in 2016 Panini Prism, but there are fire suit fabrics. Yes, Prism had relics in them, and then also driver signatures. That's the blue version there. There's probably about 10 different parallels in 2016 Prism driver signatures. And then also he has a base card in 2016 certified with the different parallels, mirror parallels, and also certified potential signatures in 2016 Panini certified.
Yeah, I like this 2016 Prism. That's a cool card.
Yep.
I always like those anyway.
Yep. And then highest finisher rookie was Sammy Smith, who I feel like we only talked about a few weeks ago. And his first cards are in 2022 Dunruss. 2022 Dunruss is having has a lot of these guys, rookies and stuff that we've been talking about here in the last few weeks. So I think that might be a pretty good release here.
Yep, he's in Chronicles. He's also in National Treasures.
Yep. Chronicles, Clearly Vision, Clearly Dunruss, Obsidian, Spectra, Stars and Stripes, XR. And then in 2022 Panini Prism, base card there with all the different parallels and also signatures, Prism signatures and sensational signatures as well. And National Treasures, as you had mentioned. So
Yeah, and then on his Donruss card, you still got that dude that's photo bombing or doing something down there in the lower right corner. Don't know what's going on there.
yeah, I grabbed one. I haven't blown it up yet. I got one. Well, you can't see because I have the thing on, but I do have one, and I have to zoom in. It almost looks like the Daniel Dye almost, but we'll have to see. That's my
It could
guess.
be he didn't have anything on his hat, so I don't know if they airbrushed that photoshopped it out, or who knows.
I'll have to do some comparison. So next race number 9. That's the AG Pro 300. That's going to be at Talladega Super Speedway. That's going to be Saturday, April 22nd at 4 p.m. So this Saturday. Moving over to the Cup race. That was race number 9. That was the NOCO 400. Sunday, April 16th at Martinsville Speedway. Kyle Larson was our winner. Highest finisher rookie was Ty Gibbs at position 18.
Yeah, it's not good for him,
Nope.
but he's still whooping Noah Gregson's butt pretty good right now
Yeah, really hard.
for Rookie of the Year.
Yep. And Kyle Larson, we've talked about him numerous times. 2013 first cards from Press Pass fan Fair. That's the one on the left. There's a few parallels to that, as well as Magnificent Materials and autographs, about 4 or 5 different versions of the autograph. And then 2013 total memorabilia, only few parallels of that with red, gold, and black. And then also Rising Star autographs, 4 versions of that, numbered to 125 or less. So not a lot of Kyle Larson autos from 2013.
Yeah, they're kind of like the Josh Berry autos. They're cut. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, like double thickness. I don't know what that grade, what that size is, but
Yeah,
it'd be thick. And of course, Ty freaking Gibbs, highest finisher rookie. We talked about him, I guess 4 or 5 weeks in a row now. 2020 Panini Chronicles, a few different parallel insert sets in there with Crusade autographs, Phoenix autographs, Score autographs, Spectra, and then Prism scripted signatures. Nope, not that one. That one. The different autos.
yeah, we've talked about that before. Scribble, scribble.
Yep, so I won't dwell on that for the show.
No.
Next race number 10. That's the Geico 500 Talladega Speedway, Sunday, April 23rd at 3 p.m.
Yeah, there's a 75% or greater chance that me and my son are going to hop in the car about 4 in the morning, drive down there and watch the race and come back same day. So
That
that'll
sounds
be
like fun.
fun.
Oh
I hadn't
yeah,
been I hadn't been to Talladega in a couple of years, so we're well past due to go down there. So that'll be fun. That'll be a great race.
I love Talladega. That was a
Me
massive
too.
track.
You ought to drive down there Sunday. Meet us down there.
Yeah, I got to work though.
That's right. You got that database stuff going on.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yep. That was the next race. Okay, Formula One. They were off. They are off until April 30th, so we have another week. It's gonna be April 30th, Sunday at 7 a.m. And moving over to IndyCar. That was the 2023 Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach, and that was Sunday, April 16th at Long Beach Street Circuit in Long Beach, California. Highest finishing, let's just say the winner was Kirkwood. Who? Yes, Kyle Kirkwood. No cards for him. I think that
No,
was his first win.
it was his first win, and Grosjean, Romain Grosjean, he, I think they were teammates, and he hadn't won either. So it looked like it was going to be a first time winner there, no matter what was going to happen.
So Andretti, yeah, Andretti 1 and 2
Yeah, actually
team
they were
ownership.
1, 2, 4.
Yep, I saw Andretti with looks like Curb something. Chip Ganassi 3 and 5. So that's pretty good showing. I wish there were cards for him, but nothing yet. We need Andretti to do those cards like Canassi's doing.
Yeah, I haven't even heard anything on social media anymore about those cards. I guess they're kind of laying low on them right now.
Probably. Next race is going to be April 30th at 3 p.m. And that's going to be the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama. That's at the Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yep, just west of Talladega.
Yep. 90 laps, 207 miles. Yep. That is it for race recap.
Yeah, I have something to admit. Sunday I went out and rode my mountain bike. It was such a nice day. I went out and did that and DVR'd the race and got home and I found out accidentally that Kyle Larson won, so I didn't watch the race.
Well, before we came out, I was talking. I was busy as well. Um, my daughter had an event, so I was there at. I'm going to say, did I come back and try to watch that one? Maybe I did. I did watch that one after the fact. So
Yeah, when Jeff Gordon was in his heyday, winning all the races and things, there was a lot of times when I would go out and do something else and just record it and watch it that night. But the great thing about it is that I would ask my wife to check the results, and if Jeff won, I didn't have to watch the race. It was great. Time saver.
with all the races he won, that was a time saver,
Yeah.
man. All right. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about NASCAR 75 greatest drivers, or let's talk about it first.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's do it.
So last week we were kind of, I'll say shocked, but we saw where Casey Kane was selected, and I think you had mentioned, or somebody had mentioned to you, that maybe this was not the 75 greatest drivers of all time, but more like the 25 greatest drivers in the last 25 years.
It's starting to look that way. It's getting that look and feel. I think the old timers and the legends that like Fonnie Flock and Jack Smith and those guys, I think they're going to get the shaft on this deal. I don't with the people that they're picking now, there's just not enough room for those guys left because they still have a lot of cup champions and Hall of Famers and things to still put on that list. I mean, Dale Earnhardt Jr., um, Joey Logano. There's a ton of them that they're going to have to put on. Chase Elliott, they're going to have to be on that list.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of those drivers, and maybe they're, I won't say going from the bottom up, but because there really is no ranking. But it seems, today they announced Ryan Newman, who was on our list,
Hmm.
but they mentioned Greg Biffle. He was on our list. I can't remember if Mike Stefanik was like that. I think we talked about him
Yeah, we
that
talked about
he
him last
he
week.
was, yeah. Uh, you know, so on our list at the bottom level, or after we got the slam dunks, the Flock, Speedy Thompson, Jack Smith, those, and Wendell Scott. Now I'm wondering now if they're going to be in or not. I don't think so. Where
I
we
don't think
have,
so.
do we have Randy LaJoy was on the list? I'm trying to think of who else. They had Tony Stewart, who was on our list.
Yeah, this past week, since the end of last week's show, they added Kyle Larson on the 13th of April, Greg
Hmm.
Biffle on the 17th, Sterling Marlin on the 18th, and Ryan Newman on the 19th. So those are the new ones. The one that baffled me the most, of course, was Sterling Marlin. I like Sterling a lot. I live in Tennessee. He's a Tennessee boy. He lives about 3.5 hours away from where I live. I like him a lot, but again, he just does not have the credentials, in my opinion, to be on this list. Because now that opens up the list for other drivers like Clint Boyer, who will probably be in here now because he has the same amount of wins as Sterling Marlin, although he doesn't have those marquee wins like Sterling did. Um, but I just don't see that. This blue ribbon panel, I'm beginning to wonder what's going on in that room, and why they're picking the way they are, because I just don't see some of these picks. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, with Casey Kane, we talked. I'm not to go over, but he was kind of on our bubble, right? So, um, Randy LaJoy and Sterling Marlin totally blindsided me. Um, Greg Biffle was on our list, Larson naturally, and Stewart. So, but I like Sterling Marlin as well. I thought he had a few good years where he did very well. You could say the same thing for Jack Smith. He had a few good years. So, and I was thinking about this last night. I couldn't sleep or whatever, but like Dick Trickle, is he on any of these lists? Because he wasn't on the top 50, right? I didn't research before I
oh
mentioned
no,
him.
Dick Trickle. I mean, he never won a cup race, so
Eh, Did Randy LaJoy win a cup race?
no. Randy LaJoy, no, but he was a two-time Xfinity Series, back in his day, Busch Series champion.
But wasn't Dick Trickle like the master of the short track?
He was. He won, like, I think, well over 1,000 races on the short tracks.
That's what I mean. So how can he not be on? How can you win 1,000 races and not be the greatest driver? So,
Well, I think a lot of them weren't NASCAR sanctioned, so that may get him right there. But still,
but
uh,
you understand where I'm coming from, though.
I do.
I mean, it's not totally bizarre to have. I would think now, if you got Randy LaJoy in there, why wouldn't Dick Trickle be in there? Anyway, but and then you got Jack Smith, Speedy Thompson, these guys, Funny Flock. So yeah, I don't know about that. So maybe I've been hanging out the NASCAR Hall of Fame for too long these last 10, 15 years. Um, so I don't know. Maybe you can be in the Hall of Fame and not be one of the greatest drivers.
Yeah. You know, and Donnie Allison, he has the same amount of wins as Sterling Marlin. He's got 10 wins. So
So
does
I
that
wouldn't
put
put that.
Donnie in there? But Donnie's a, he's from that, the golden age of NASCAR. He's not a new driver, but he is. But you know what? He is living and breathing. So
That's where I was going
maybe
with this. He's got a Sharpie and will travel.
Exactly. I've seen him so many times at the Motorsports Hall of Fame in Talladega, signing his books and signing autographs. And I'll bet you he'll be there this weekend.
He's a great guy.
I love him.
They're all actually, I should say, they're all great. It's and not to say, I'll say you say some are better than the others, but y- he's a great driver. But when we say 75 greatest drivers, we that as another level, right?
Hmm.
So not that just counting what Donnie Allison has done, but we're trying to narrow down how many people have won a race. I think you've been keeping track of that, or your ballpark.
What do you mean?
Won a cup race.
How many have out of the list so far?
Yeah. What's how many people? No, because I thought you were keeping track of trying to get like every person who's ever won our cup race.
Are you talking about me getting autographs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I only have like about 10 or 12 people that I don't have autographs from.
Right. But I'm saying, what kind of number is that though? Is that 150
No,
different?
there 200. It's 203
Okay.
people have won NASCAR races.
Right. So out of
At,
that, we're
at the Cup
trying,
level.
we're trying to find the 75 greatest drivers, right? That I guess.
I see what you're going. I see what you're saying now.
Right. So not just counting what other people have done, but trying to narrow down the 75 and 75 years. But over 200 people have won a cup race. So what I'm saying is, trying to make the selection because of its 75th anniversary and because they did that in 50 years of 50 greatest drivers, we're trying to whittle it down. So,
Yeah, and I think the fact that it looks to me like they're taking the greatest drivers over the last 25 years and not over the entire 75 years. I think again that's a travesty and a disservice to some of these well, they're not Hall of Famers, but some of these legends. Like we keep saying, like Speedy Thompson and everybody. But I still think they almost have to put in Wendell Scott since he's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, how can you be in the Hall of Fame and not be one of the 75 greatest drivers? Because he was a driver. He's not like a crew chief or an owner or anything who's in the Hall of Fame. So he is in the
well,
Hall of Fame as a driver.
maybe it'll surprise me and put in Jack Smith, but he's won 20 cup races and was in third in points like 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
yeah,
That,
yeah.
that,
You don't have.
that
Yeah, you don't have to convince me. We got to convince the blue ribbon panel of what they're doing.
I want. I need to know. I need names. I want to know who's on this blue blue ribbon panel.
I'd be ashamed to be on it with some of these votes that they're doing right now. Again, because it's baffling to me. It just makes no sense. It's like helter skelter. Oh, let's get out the Ouija board and let's see who we can pick. Oh, there's a S and a
Well,
T. Oh, Sterling Marlin. Yeah, way to go, Ouija board.
so I would like to know. So we know the process for the NASCAR Hall of Fame. We know that the group takes the 15 or 10 and adds five, right? So we're not in that. We don't know how those five come about, but I have a good idea. But then that whole list, and then each person has a binder and information about every one of those nominees, and then they get in that room and they don't come out until they make a decision, and people are persuading folks back and forth for those. Now it's three, right? Two and one. But well, I guess where I'm going is they have a binder of all the inductees, and that's what they have to select with. So, did they just have a list of everybody, or is it just like, show of hands? Let's, how did these folks get selected to be even on this list to be selected for these 25? So
Yeah,
I spent too long talking about that subject, but how to come up with the names? I guess I should have just said
yeah. I mean, I can see it now. They got the magic 8 ball. Should Casey Kane be in the 75 greatest NASCAR drivers of all time?
most
All
definitely.
signs point to yes. Okay. You're in, Casey. Good job.
Should Jack Smith be in the Hall of Fame in the top list? Who?
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. Is people only know what they know, and a lot of people don't read up on the history. They don't know the history, and frankly, a lot of people don't care about the history, which we do. So all they know about are the names they're familiar with. So, oh yeah, I've heard of Sterling Marlin. Yeah, sure, let's put him in there. It just, again, I know we're beating a dead horse here, but it's just incredible to me how poorly I think this has been put together. I'm kind of ashamed of it, actually. I was really looking for more out of NASCAR than this.
Yeah, I was looking hopefully to draw more of the history, I guess, because I'm more, say, a student of the history
Mhm.
and the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and then we tie in cards, which also helps with the history. And basically, we're getting an image once a day of, hey, this is who we're selected.
Yeah.
So
Hashtag
no,
live bodies. Yeah.
yeah, so
I think that's what it's all about. Now, the good thing is, and this is to me, this will be the only positive about any of this is if, and I hope that they do make a 75 greatest drivers lithograph. There'll be a lot of autos on there. Of course, you won't have Dale Earnhardt anymore, and there's several others. But if they're gonna select all these breathing people, you're gonna have a lot of autos on the lithograph. Maybe that's what they're thinking about. Hey, we could get him to sign the lithograph, so let's get him. He's alive.
the lithograph created by Fanatics and sold through Fanatics.
Yeah, probably. That thing will be expensive. I'll just wait.
Yeah, yeah, probably thousands and thousands of dollars. I'll never forget that. This was going off tangent, but when Press Pass went out, and was it David Adams had those? You could have
Yes.
got those lithos for like I think down Black Friday specials for like $200.
Yeah, they were cheap. But now they've gone way. Since they're gone, you can't get them anymore. Now they're going back up.
Yeah, I thought about getting one, but I was like, man, it's going to cost me like $400 to get it framed. But short sighted on my part. Of course,
Yeah. Well,
I got I don't
mine.
got room.
Mine are literally right over here. I've got three of them sitting over here. It's still in those huge
To,
top loaders.
yeah, yeah, that's part of the problem. Is like, all right, well, how am I going to display some of this stuff, or is it just going to sit in the closet? Anyway, okay, we digress. All right,
Yeah.
so
So that's our thoughts on the our update for the 75 greatest drivers. Again, the list is kind of meh.
I love the comments we got last week's show on, Casey Kane and stuff like that. So again, we encourage you, let us know what you think about, you know, Randy LaJoy, Sterling Marlin. Am I crazy for wanting Jack Smith or Speedy Thompson in there? So, don't be afraid to tell me. Um, so I know somebody help, keep me straight. So, again, we love the comments and, looking forward to hearing what everybody has to say. So,
Yeah.
but also, good.
Yeah. Hashtag Danica in the 75 top drivers. It's looking more and more like that could maybe happen.
I don't I have no comment on that. So,
Anyway, we'll go on.
so uh, cheaters in sports. Um, how we've seen that affect card values, and does it have the same impact for racing?
Nope.
So it's kind of a we all know about Major League Baseball and performance enhancing drugs, and some of the folks have drawn the line and what's the right word here? Um, you know, helping to keep some of these folks out of the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, right? So, but I think when it comes to racing, Logan, I think you're right on for that. Naturally, the crew chiefs, there's some great stories out there. I love hearing these guys talk about some of the ways they kind of, I don't say bend the rules. Ray Evernham had a great. I think it was Ray Evernham and Jeff Gordon. I think it was a few years ago where he was talking about some of the bending of the rules and trying not to get caught. So
Yeah, I think you talk about cheating. You some of your bigger, and call them what they are. I mean, they are cheat. They have been cheating. Is Ray Evernham and Chad Canals. Uh, I think Ray he was better at it because he didn't get caught as much. Chad's gotten caught a lot more than Ray ever did.
I don't know about that. The one when you're talking made me think of when Gordon lost his wheel because they had trimmed the brake rotors down and that front wheel came off at the track.
Oh yeah.
You forgot about that one?
No, I hadn't forgot about that one.
Uh,
Yeah.
but so I was gonna say, do you have any great stories or great instances? I have a few. I don't know which ones you know and which ones you don't know. Um, Smokey Unick, probably one of the more famous ones, where he was getting fabulous gas mileage and I couldn't figure out why. So they impounded his gas tank and he drove the car away anyway.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
they
the
were
good.
yeah, they were putting the gas in the roll bars of the
Well,
car.
they didn't say how big a diameter the pipe could be. So he had a oversized hose to that gas tank. So
Yeah, he
I
sure
mean to
did.
yeah, to the intake. And then um another one was, they used to weigh the cars and actually was at the NASCAR Hall of Fame and Ray Evernham and Dale Inman were there. And I mentioned about, so not to go all history on everybody, but Ray Fox. He was crew chief, and then eventually he was actually a NASCAR inspector. So, who else better to help keep NASCAR regulated than somebody who was knew all the ins and outs of cheating? So, but Ray Fox had a book, and he mentioned that filling the tires with water. And so when they weighed the car, they would do that and then bring it into the pits and then take those tires off after it got weighed. So then the car was lighter. So I mentioned that to Dale Inman and Ray Evernham, and Inman said it wasn't him who did it, but he said they had lead um, hubs uh, for the car for the tires, and so they would come in, so they'd be super heavy.
Yeah, you know that Richard Petty and Dale Inman, they bent a lot of rules. They did some cheating on their own back in the day. They just didn't get caught as much. And again, you have to look at the rules back then. The rules weren't nearly as stringent as they are now. The inspection process is so meticulous now that they find all these little things that these crew chiefs are doing to these cars. But to get back to what we were talking about cheating and the price of trading cards. I mean, you talk about again like you're talking about baseball. Like Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds, those guys. They beefed it up with the roids, and they're kind of paying the price. And look what Pete Rose did. He bet on baseball. He's never going to be in the Hall of Fame, at least not in his lifetime. He may get in after he passes, but I don't think he's ever going to live to see the day that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So their card values now. Pete Rose's cards, his are still pretty good, but some of the other ones, like McGuire and those guys, their values are down. But then you look at NASCAR, and okay, Jeff Gordon's team cheated. That you think that looked bad on Jeff Gordon, but the fans look at that way different. It's the fact that they could have cheated better and they wouldn't have got caught. But Jeff Gordon card values, his cards aren't affected. Jimmy's are not affected. None of these drivers are affected, but it does. It seems like more in the stick and ball sports, it does affect the prices. So it's a very weird dynamic between those sports and NASCAR.
Well, what's the mantra in racing? If you're not cheating,
Yeah,
you're not trying.
No, you're not trying, and you're not. And you have to admit, you know, all sports are based on performance, but NASCAR especially because if you're not performing well, you're not going to get good sponsors. You're not going to get good people to work on your cars. So you've got to push that envelope every single week. I mean, you have to.
So, and I don't know if it's cheating or not, but I was, the air guns, right? There was a whole air guns war going on in NASCAR. That's why they went to NASCAR supplied air guns.
Hmm.
And so everybody's doing everything they can, and it's the larger team you have or larger number of employees you have, the more resources you have at work trying to find an edge wherever you can. I just remember back when Michael Waltrip Racing, one of his employees, whatever, left with one of those handguns, and they were adamant about getting him back or suing him for that handgun, that air gun, because it was, you know, $100,000 worth of equipment, that air gun, for technology wise or whatever. So, um, I don't know if that's cheating or how do it, but everybody's trying to get a competitive advantage, trying to, win, move up in those spots. Every spot is more money.
Oh yeah, at the end of the year, the big payout. Yeah, that's another part of it too. So you want to the bottom line is you got to perform, and it just again it just doesn't affect the pricing of trading cards and I don't think it does in any of the motorsports. I think I think that's just generally accepted that that's what's going to happen. The problem is that you got caught. This other guy did something and he didn't get caught, but you did. But the garage area itself is pretty self-policing. When the competitor sees somebody that's got something that's an advantage, they're going to go over to NASCAR and go,
You know,
"Hey, so and so's got this thing. Yeah, yeah, you can go check that out." And so there's a lot of that going on. But you know, Chad Knaus is still going to be in the Hall of Fame. Ray Abraham is in the Hall of Fame. Jeff Gordon's in the Hall of Fame. All those guys, they're just because they cheated doesn't keep them out of the Hall of Fame, and it doesn't hurt their card prices. I'm sure Chad House when he goes into the Hall of Fame, his card prices will go up. His rookie cards from Optima XL, and it's not it doesn't hurt him, but in the other stick and ball sports, it does hurt.
I was just thinking of Junior Johnson, the that yellow banana car.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
they had so back then they only had the template, and if the car matched the template, you were good to go. So if you could figure out how to, you know, and that's what Ray Evernham was talking about, is like they matched to the template, but if you got off of that template area, then everything was all swayed.
yeah,
But
it was.
they couldn't check out of that. But now, every year NASCAR tries to tighten it down and introduces new stuff. It's like the passenger side, around the frame, there's a honeycomb, and so there's a lot of parts that are supplied by the manufacturer, and they don't want you touching them at all. So the
Mhm.
inspector can quickly look and see that, um, honeycomb pattern and know that nothing's been touched, nothing's been sanded down or whatever, or cut and
Mhm.
modified, whatever. So they're trying to do all this, and then we're talking about the weight now. i- at every track they have that dark room, and they'll roll the car in, and it's all laser measured.
Yeah,
And then if you
yeah,
get so many, was it two or three strikes at weigh in and measurement, then you lose your crew chief, and are so, and the fines progress. It's not good. So these guys are still trying to find ways, and just we had it the other week. What did they impound? Was it the spoilers, or I don't even know, but they're
you talking about the front louvers on the Hendrick cars?
that's yeah, I guess that's what it was.
Yeah, on the
Yeah,
hood.
definitely. And again, they have, like, I think part some of that was that they had manufactured parts, but the parts weren't coming in within specifications, so they had bad parts, and so the teams were taking it on themselves to fix them or whatever. So I think that's why that penalty wasn't as harsh or whatever, if I remember right. So
Yeah. So again, bottom line is you cheat in NASCAR, car values are cool. You cheat in baseball, not so much.
yeah, it doesn't penalize the driver. I want to say it was Kyle. Was it Kyle Larson? Oh no, maybe it was Logano. It was 2017, I guess it was, because they were doing Panini insert, and one week uh, he had a contested win, so they didn't issue a card that week. So
I remember that.
and then we had what was it the other week? Not week. Ty Gibbs' first race, the one, number two guys were disqualified.
Yep.
So, but it didn't hurt any of their values. I guess is what I'm going with.
No, it did. It just doesn't. It's just accepted. I mean, it's just that's just the way it is in this sport. Um, and again, like I said, it's performance based. So you got to push the envelope.
They're winning by tenths of a second, so they're trying to shave off tenths of a second.
hmm
So, but again, we love to know what everybody thinks about. Are we off, or I guess is it accepted? So,
Yeah, yeah. Leave some comments on that. Let us know what you think.
all right. So before we get to King's Court, we had two little. I want to share the screen. Let's go to what we saw the other day here.
hmm
Tony Stewart, um, Leaf being Leaf. They have this Leaf metal autograph, Tony Stewart, print to order to May 1st. $30. I thought that was not a bad price.
No, I think that's a great price for Tony Stewart's autograph because we all know how difficult of an autograph he really is in real life. I mean, we've been at the Hall of Fame. Literally, he's 5 feet away from us, and he's pretty much going doing this. Nah, 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 I'm not signing anything, and he's just that. That's just how he rolls.
Yeah, I've never had any good luck with him. I think maybe when he got nominated for the Hall of Fame I think he was there that day at the location they made the announcement, but every other time has been has not been good. So
But
um,
he's also now an official NHRA drag racing winner. He's got a Wally now. He won in Las Vegas.
yep.
So congrats to him, man. That's good. So and this thing for Leaf runs through May 1st. So I don't know how many of these things they're going to make, but I might get one for that just for the heck of it since he's wearing pajamas and everything. No sponsors at all.
Yeah, yep.
It's a pajama card, as we call them.
All right, and then we had stop that screen and then present. We had a little surprise.
Yes, we were. I was very surprised when I saw this one. In fact, I commented on this next thing on social media.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, you're right, Gomer. this this
So why
caught
were
me
you
by
surprised?
surprise. Well, when I first saw the listing, it said 2022. So I went and looked at the card and the images itself because I'm going, they just typed this thing in wrong. This is something else. But no, it's 2022. And I went, oh my gosh. So I posted that on the link to that on eBay. I mean, on eBay, on Twitter, and tagged Scotty Prussia at Panini. And he said something like, surprise, surprise, there you go, check it out. We don't always tell everything. And sure enough, they didn't. So now the question is, who else is out there that we haven't seen yet, and who else is out there that we may never see that somebody pulls out of a pack? So we may never know who all the 101 cut autos are.
Not at least until July.
Yeah, we'll have to ask.
I'll have to corner them.
Yeah, we'll have to corner them at the National and find out if they can tell us who all they made 1-1 cut autos of. But
They can tell us. We won't tell anybody.
yeah, no. We don't have any. We don't have a worldwide audience. We don't know anything.
We won't say a
We're not
word.
going to say anything. But I was pleasantly surprised. I even said me happy, and I am happy to see this because I think it's just awesome and groovy and cool that they actually did this. They just didn't tell us they did it. So my hats off to Panini. Way to go, Panini. Good job.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like you were saying, so we know there's a Dale Earnhardt Sr. out there. I think it was in Torque 2016, maybe. It was a cut, but we have never seen it surface.
Yeah. I don't think they put his picture on there, but yeah, I'd love to see that card. And who knows, maybe because Tim Trout kind of alluded a little bit to maybe something being in National Treasures, maybe
Right.
you know
Yep.
with
Well,
Dale
we'll
Earnhardt
see.
Sr.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God, if that pops out, oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that. Just how epic that would be.
That would be pretty good. So,
Oh my gosh. So yeah, we just want to show you guys this that yeah, there's cut autos out there. And if anybody sees any or gets any or anything, post it, comment, let us know because we want to know. We're going to keep a running tab of what all's going on out there.
yeah, that series or has been running here, what, in all the National Treasures? These
I
cut
believe
autos?
so. Yep.
Yeah. So that's why Logan was kind of like shocked that it was going to stop, but he was presently surprised. So,
Hmm. I'm happy.
all right. I think that's all we got.
I do have one quick comment that I want to make about Formula One. Um, for the first time ever in Formula One, every team has scored at least 1 point in the first 3 rounds. That's never happened before.
Awesome.
So maybe there's a little bit more parity. It's not like the parity we're seeing with the next gen car in NASCAR, but there's a little itty bitty little bit of parity in F1.
Well,
So I
parody, I
thought that
guess,
was cool.
from four down. Yeah.
And one other thing too is we're seeing prices drop on 2022 National Treasures. Frank J's boxes, if I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with Frank J's, he's got $300 now on NT 2022 NT boxes. So I mean that's just in a few weeks we've gone from 400 down to 300. I don't know what that exactly tells us about NT this year. Maybe it's not quite as up to snuff as previous years. I don't know, but there you go, $300. That's actually very doable now. That's value. You could get one.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll see.
yeah. Well, you have a daughter.
Yeah, playing golf.
Yeah, buddy. So I think that's all that I've got that was extra. So I think it's time for us to play some kind of music, probably. All right. This was a very cool week on eBay. There were Honestly, there were so many awesome cards out there that I could have had 10 honorable mentions. There were so many. But I had to limit myself. So the first one the first one I added an honorable mention this week, and it's a 2022. This was on the 17th of April. 2022 National Treasures Josh Berry 1 of 1 nameplate booklet, and they did a great job on this. I
Yeah.
actually bid on it.
If you just look at his belt,
Yep, there you go. It's easy to find, just right off the belt. I
yeah, I just
mean,
wish they would have moved. I don't know, moved that over so JOS,
yeah,
just some more of that. But
maybe half a letter over. But this thing went out for bids, It went for $371 with 17 bids. I was a bidder, but I was tapped out at like, 220 something, $227. So it blew by me real quick. In the last minute, it went from like 100 and something dollars to the 371, because I was actually watching that one and was hoping I could get that card. But whoever has that card, man, you did great. We love Josh Berry on this show, and I think that's a cool card. So congrats.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, it's sweet. And so next up, our Joker of the Week. You're gonna love this. This was on the 16th of April. It's a 2022 National Treasures Kyle Busch Firesuit Patch Auto Book 1 of 1. It went for $353.98 with 22 bids. The reason I thought this was funny is that Kyle Busch likes to call himself KFB. Or for those of you who hate Kyle Busch, you could say F Kyle Busch. So, I mean, it is the Facebook logo, but still, you can take it another way. And that's the way I took it, especially for King's Court. But it's a cool card, though.
Yeah, I mean, you get auto and the nice Facebook patch. Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw another one of these that was very similar to this from Prime. It had the Facebook logo for Kyle Busch. But this was the more expensive one, and of course it had the autograph. But yeah, so there's KFB. So I thought that was funny.
Very, very cool. And I don't think it's a bad price. I think it's pretty good, 350.
No, I think that's right in line with probably where it should be.
Yep, very
All right,
nice.
so next up, our young driver of the week, our Jack. This was on the 18th of April. It's a Sammy Smith National Treasures Auto booklet. It says 0 of 2, but I think it was a typo. It's 1 of 2.
Right.
And he's got the double S action going on there with his auto. But man, look at the price on this thing. It again went out for bid. $599.92 with 16 bids. I bid on this one too early on, and it escalated quickly.
That is epic.
It is, man. I
I,
love that.
minus the signature, but I love that patch. It's got the rookie logo on it. It's got the red, white, and blue on
The
it.
stars and stripes. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really nice.
Yeah, buddy. But there's a lot of people banking on him to be the next great thing, and so far he's living up to that. So who knows, man? Maybe in the future that could be a lot more expensive card in your collection.
Yeah, I mean,
But
if he goes up to Joe Gibbs, he's in that equipment, man. Like we said, you need the talent and you need the equipment.
yes, you do. Yeah, because you can be the greatest driver in the world and be driving for a lower tier team, and you'll just never make it. So yeah, you got to have it's the combination that you've got to have. You got to have the talent and you got to have the equipment. So yeah, that's a cool patch, man. I love that thing. Like I said, I was a player for about 3 milliseconds, and then I was quickly not a player anymore.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. So next up, yeah, and congrats to whoever got that.
Oh
Next
yeah.
up, this was from the 16th of April, 2022 Prism Haley Deegan out of 10. It's a gold auto Prism portrait. They say it's a super short print, I guess because it's out of 10. But they were asking $300 for this thing, and they settled on a best offer of $210.
Not bad.
So not bad for out of 10. I'm looking at it. It looks fairly centered. I don't know how well it would grade. I've noticed that there's a lot of pitting in some of these Prism cards this year, so they could be tough to grade. But still, it's a cool card. I just wish Haley could do better because like you said, Val, you and I are kind of in a holding pattern right now with her. I'm not really spending any money on her. I was for a while, but not so much now.
Yeah, I need some top tens, top fives.
Yeah, I need to see some performance. But yeah, that's and believe it or not, I thought for sure we would see a higher priced like NT card of Haley or um, Tony Brydanger or just Danica somebody. But this was the highest price card of the week for a female. So yeah, not a bad card. So moving on, our king of the week. Boy, check this one out. This
That
is
is the king
on
of the week.
the king is the king of the week. This,
Wow.
this was on the 13th of April. It's a PSA 10 1988 Max Charlotte Richard Petty. It says rookie card. That's debatable. Um, but this card went out for bidding. It went for $531.32 with 30 bids. My gosh, I have one of those hanging on my tree every year.
Oh, you expensive tree.
Yeah, I've got, I have my three kings every year. I've got Elvis, Jerry Lawler, and this card of Richard Petty that hang on my tree. For those of you who have never seen that, next year this Christmas we'll show you that.
Yeah.
But that is an unbelievable price, Val. What do you think?
Speechless. Because I remember when this card, nobody was looking for this card. Nobody was looking for this card in PSA 10.
No, you
And
can pick them up all day cheap.
but they have dried up, and this is kind of one of those iconic looking cards, and those present really well. We have those really white borders. Depending on how you handle those cards or store those cards, they will yellow or brown. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
speechless.
I was very amazed. In fact, I saw this pop up on Twitter. Somebody talked about it, and I thought, "Whoa!" I think this was this. I already had this in my mind. This was going to be the king of the week when I saw that. So yeah, that's cool, man. Whoever got that, I think you might have paid too much, but maybe not. All right, next up is our ace of the week, our one of one. This was on the 19th of April, and it's only a PSA 8. It's a 2020 Topps Chrome F1 Superfractor, card number 12 of Danielle Cravat, I believe is how you pronounce that name. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. I am the king of butchering F1 names. But again, it is a one of one. They were asking $8,000 for this thing, and they settled on a best offer of $3,000.
Wow,
Yeah, for PSA 8, dude.
they can complete the rainbow.
I guess, man.
That's expensive rainbow.
That is, man. I mean, you all know me out there. I'm a NASCAR guy. For $3,000, I want to buy some Dale Earnhardt Auto something somethings or something. That's what I'm going to go for. But I mean, to
Or a
each
few
his own.
cases.
Yeah, or yeah, to each his own. I mean, this is a great card. Don't get me wrong. I think it's cool. It's sad that it only got an 8, and you have to wonder at some point, do you get those things done as authentic versus getting them graded? You just don't ever know.
Right.
But yeah, that's our one on one, man. 3K
Wow.
for that thing. All right. So last but not least, and I say that every week, our Royal Flush. Guess who it is? This was on the 19th of April. It's a 2020 Topps Chrome F1 Lewis Hamilton, card number 1. It's the orange refractor. He's doing the thing from Family Guy. Good, good. But anyway, it's number 10 of 25. It's a BGS 7.5, dude.
Yeah, surface heard it and edges heard it.
Yeah, it sure did.
Corners
But
and center and are good.
yeah, corners and center are great. But check this out. They were asking $15,000 for this card, right?
Yeah, I'm afraid to ask.
Oh my God. You're not going to believe it when I tell you. They accepted a best offer of $13,000 for the BGS 7.5.
$13,000.
Yes. God,
Wow.
if that was if that was a BGS 9.5, good God, what would that thing be? My gosh almighty.
Well, it looks like there's one more left.
Yeah, he's got two.
Wow, that's nice. Wow, 13 grand for one.
Can you imagine hitting something like that in a box, getting it graded as a 7.5, and still coming away with 13 grand? Holy smokes, man! I could buy some cool stuff selling that card.
Yeah, I wish we had anything like this but NASCAR.
No, we just don't. But I mean, it's a cool card. I just I think in a 7.5, that's just too high. That's my
So
opinion on
that,
it.
yeah, maybe. Well, I'm trying to think. That's the orange. That's a 25. I was thinking of the other one, that the set that sold, but this is the variation, right? I think this is not the.
Yeah, it is. It's the
So
it's the good good variation.
yep.
If for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, go Google that on YouTube or something, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
But
Family Guy.
that's impressive. That is impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive. Again, I that's more money than I'm willing to spend. I'm to a point now where oh, here's $150 card. I don't know if I want to spend that kind of money because I do want to retire in a few years, so I'm kind of watching what I'm doing these days. But
Yeah,
that's it for this week's King's Court. So
yeah.
hope
I
you enjoyed
can't
it.
invest in cards to try to do retirement on it. So,
No,
but hey, more power to everybody else who they're comfortable paying those prices. So
yep,
we can appreciate it. So
yeah, I can appreciate it if you've got that kind of money and you want to buy cars like that. That's cool.
yeah,
Um,
it's a number to 25 and the short print variation. So
yeah,
whew,
it's a heck of a card, but I think the price is too much.
I would agree with that in my ballpark. Yeah. So it's a very small
Indeed,
park.
indeed.
So, but I think that's all I got. I don't know
Me,
if you got any few things you need to, you got hashtags we
um,
need.
hashtag skid marks, Ty freaking Gibbs, and hashtag slap fire.
Slab fire. All right. Well, that's all we have for you today. And me and Logan appreciate everybody watching, listening to the show, podcast, YouTube, wherever you find podcasts or consume it. You should be able to find NASCAR Radio and anything else.
I'm good, man. Thanks everybody for listening to us. We really, really appreciate it, and we love y'all.
Yeah. Watch social medias this weekend. We'll have some giveaways that we'll be doing. So,
Yeah, Val's got
uh,
a few cool cards to give away.
yep, I couldn't get to it last weekend, but I will definitely get to it this weekend. So, but all right, thanks for watching, and we'll catch everybody next week. We're out of here.